Greetings and welcome to another edition of the Red Pill Diaries. I'm your host, Rashid. I'm trying to get the camera straight, okay? So you guys have to forgive me for this. But we're doing a stream where we need to talk. The name of the show is Live. Let's have an honest discussion because there's so many half-truths, outright lies, and illusions that is almost unreal. And this state of politics, this state of geopolitics, this state of economics is pushing the world closer and closer towards armed conflict. I mean, it's not like in the old days where people fought and they fought with spears, bows, and arrows, or they fought with swords, or they fought with cannonballs, right? Or even when they just fought with guns. This is a time unlike any other time because the weapon of choice between two global powers or three or four global powers would be nuclear, thermonuclear. So unless we have an honest discussion of what is going on, we can look for nuclear war. We look at what's going on in the Middle East with Palestine and occupied Palestine, which is Israel. They have occupied Palestine, and the Western world act like they don't understand why the Palestinians are enraged. They don't understand why the Palestinians are lashing out. If you suppress a people, if you cage a people, if you deny them of their fundamental rights that is given when you are birthed or born into God's creation, God's universe, there is a backlash. It may be suppressed for so long, but sooner or later, it will take on a form. And when it takes on this form, the longer it's suppressed and oppressed, the more powerful the form that it takes and the more powerful the reaction will be to the oppressors and the suppressors. Now, what is amazing about this is that science teaches you these things, right? Mathematics teaches you these things. There's not a person who studies the planets. There's not a person who studies science. There's not a mathematician that would argue with what I'm saying. And more so than anything, common sense teaches you these things, right? But we want to act as though common sense does not exist and everything is in a vacuum. You don't look at what led up to the situation. You look at the situation itself so that we can put this on spin and repeat, spin and repeat, spin and repeat until it spins out of control and it does not repeat. It explodes into full-blown, all-out wars of destruction on a scale of which you've never seen before. That's why I often say that there are no adults in the house in the halls of DC, in Tel Aviv, in London, in Brussels, in Berlin, in Paris. There are no adults in the room. These people are sociopaths. They're psychotic in nature, thinking that they can force everybody to conform with them. And what is amazing about this is they beat this same mantra. They beat this same propaganda over and over again, and they inundate you mentally with it. They inundate you spiritually with it, right? And they do it over and over for years, for decades. And then they break down your resistance to the truth so that you can grab hold of falsehood and believe that the falsehood, because it is what you have seen and is what has looked prosperous and this is what has looked right and it is what has been acceptable. So once they got it like that, then you don't realize that they have turned right upside down. And they use that to exploit you. And you think that you're on the right side of history, you're on the right side of religion, you're on the right side of finance, you're on the right side of politics. How can you be that when you are listening to people who are insane? Well, they're not insane. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. We can prove it. What is more insane than trying to force everybody to bow to your will and you're not the God? What is more insane than trying to force everybody to act as though they're a part of your empire. What is more insane than to build nuclear weapons? And that's not enough. Thermonuclear weapons, and that's not enough. One nuclear weapon is not enough. 10 nuclear weapons is not enough. 100 nuclear weapons is not enough. We have to have tens of thousands of nuclear weapons. I want to have enough nuclear power to destroy the earth, not one time, not two times, not three times, not even 10 times, because I am so benevolent in my own mind. I want to have enough nuclear armaments to destroy the world 30 times over. This is what these people brag about. If that's not a psychotic, if that's not insane, you tell me what it is. And then you pose the question to them. If you have enough nuclear armaments to destroy the earth 10 times, 20 times, 30 times over, and you do so, where will you reside? Because you can't live on Mars. You can't live on Pluto. You can't live on Saturn or the moons of Saturn. You can't live on Mercury or Venus. So if you destroy the world, you're showing the world that you're suicidal. Because you were made from the essence of the earth. Therefore, you must reside on this planet. That's why when astronauts go into space and they come back, they have to be quarantined for a while because they've been away from the essence from which they came. And the further away they go from the earth, the more they say something in them degenerates. I'm not making this up. Okay? So, when we look at these things, will common sense prevail? Hell no. I want to go to a few things. Give me a second. Let me see if I can pull up a few things. I want you to see this stuff because this is crazy how these people are acting. This is crazy how these people are. And I saved this stuff so that I can bring this up on the screen. Hold on one second. Let me see. This is for you guys first. Let's see. Yeah, we'll bring this up if they will allow me. So I'm working towards you all. This is the first channel member live stream, okay? We're going to release this later to the general public, but you guys get it first, okay? Let me put this in the search engine, see if it'll pull it up. And then if it pulls it up, then I can put it up on my screen. All righty. Let's see. Did they take it down? Oh, yeah. This video has been deleted by X. So we see that X under Elon Musk, the one who criticized Twitter prior to him taking over and talking about his censorship, has now censored a video that was posted up there because it was openly exposing the lies, and it was showing how, on one hand, the Western media talks about all of these atrocities that were committed by the Palestinian, but in reality, this is what took place. Let me bring it up on the screen anyhow to show you that it was taken down. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Share screen right here, right here. Okay. It's up. It should be on the screen right now. Okay. That's on the screen. So look, on that screen, Mohammed Shihada posted something. Israelis are literally driving back and forth over dead, mutilated, and naked Palestinian bodies while laughing hysterically. Zero media coverage, zero condemnation, zero accountability. Savages, animals, barbarians are words only used against us. So this guy, Mohammed Shihada, had put a video up which was showing the Israelis, and I saw the video. It was heinous. It was gruesome. It was vile. It was vicious. It was savagery at its highest level. They had these trucks and they were running over the bodies of Palestinians. They were killing them and running over them and back and forth, going forward and backwards and forward. And X took the video down. Why? Why was that a security threat? Why was that censored? especially when there's an information war going on and one side gets the advantage and one side is painting the other side as immoral savages. X took that down. X took it down. So you may not have been aware of it. And when they talked about the beheading of 40 children by Hamas, and then that was proven to be a lie, that is still up. The lie is still up. But the video, which shows the brutality from the other side, which is a fact because we have visual proof and confirmation of it, that was taken down. This is what you get in the Western world. Do you know, and let me put this before you, do you know there was rumblings in the UK? And let me see if I can pull it up because hopefully I can pull this up. If it's still up, I'll pull it up. They may have taken it down. You know how they take things down. UK, let me put UK up there real quick. Let me see if it'll come up. Let me see. Here it is. 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 All right. So we're going to take this down and we're going to bring something up. All right. Stop the screen. We're going to bring something up to you. And remember that the Western world is the world of tolerance, right? Freedom of expression and freedom of speech. Is that not right? This is what they continue to condemn the Muslim world for lacking. Freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of expression. This is all you hear when they're talking down to the Middle East. They're talking down to Africa. They're talking down to Latin America. They're talking down to Asia. They're talking down to West Asia. They're talking down to Eurasia. They're talking as if these rights are enshrined and guaranteed in the Western world, and that these other parts of the world are savages and don't give the basic rights to the people. Well, look at this. I'm about to show you right now. What is more fascist than that? What is more fascist than that? The UK may arrest people for waving Palestinian flags. You only have a right to wave what? Salute, man. Salute, Matt. Salute. Matty is in the building. Salute, my guy. Salute. Yeah, thank you for joining me. Matty, let me see if I can go to, hold on one second. Let's see if they'll allow me. I'm trying this stuff for the first time, so please forgive me. This is a channel member stream, and I know I just caught everybody off guard with it, but I'm trying to keep my word and trying to do these things like I said I would do to you all. Let's see. Yeah. All right. So look, maybe I see you. Maybe they'll take you off the screen in a minute. You know how they do. But anyway, look at this. UK may arrest people for waving Palestinian flags. Now, I talked to some of my Christian brothers and some of my associates and stuff. And I asked them, what is the most important figure in your life? I do this for a reason. What is the most important figure in your life? And they say, Jesus, right? And I'm like, yes, yes, yes. I ask my Muslim brothers, what is the most important figure in your life? And they say, Muhammad and Jesus and Abraham and Ishmael and Isaac, and they name off all of the prophets of God that they can remember. And I'm like, yes, yes, yes. I say, now, let us look at something. I want you to understand something. Those, do you believe that they're holy? I go down this line of questioning. Do you believe that they're holy? They say, yes. Okay. Do you believe that they're sacred? Yes. And then I come back and I ask them, then why is it that you have the freedom to talk negative about them? You have the freedom to ignore them. You have the freedom to try to discredit them and discredit their word. But you don't have the freedom to question the Holocaust or to question Zionism in Europe. Why is that? Which one is more sacred? Is for the Christians, is Jesus more sacred? Of course he is. Then why you should be asking the question, then why is it that you'll get a jail sentence for questioning the Jews' version of events of history and the Holocaust? Why is it? But you won't get any time for lambasting Jesus. For the Muslims, you won't get any time for lambasting Muhammad or Abraham or Jesus or Ishmael, all of that. You won't get any of that. But you will get, hold on one second, everybody. Let me see something. Hold on one second. Your mom. Okay. 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 All right. That was my daughter. I'm sorry. But she was showing me something, and I was telling her. Okay. But anyway, and I haven't lost frame of thought, but I just want you to understand something. All right, look what Mehdi says. I am a spiritual brother. God is the most important thing in my life, and I honor him by learning the truth and giving and living my life as truthfully as I can. So, with that said, Mehdi, why is it are the politicians more concerned about carnal things than they are about divinity? Why are they more concerned about a narrative, a carnal narrative, than they are about a divine inspiration or divine manifestation? That's because these people are Satans. They're Satanists in their minds and in their heart and in their heads. This is what allows them to detach themselves from reality, and then they can legitimize and justify the mauling and the killing of the masses. This is what allows that. It should not be that way, but this is the way that it is. Look at this. Let's go back to something. Where is it? That article. And the UK continues to tell them, we're for peace, but Israel has the right to defend herself. Listen to me good. The United States has a right to defend itself. The UK has the right to defend itself. NATO nations have the right to defend themselves. Israel has the right to defend itself, but nobody else outside of that clique has a right to defend themselves. Now, I want you to understand something. If you look at that clique, they are the only ones that are offensive minded and are waging wars and provocations and stuff. So how in the hell can the provocateur and the war machine have a right to defend itself when it is waging unlimited war on any and everybody that it sees fit? I'm asking. Because this is crazy here. We need to talk, and we need to be blunt when we talk. That's why the show is called Live. Let's have an honest discussion. Because honesty builds trust. And when you have trust as a foundation, you can then build something tangible and enduring. Without trust, the foundation is hollow. And whatever you build on that foundation will eventually collapse. I see it all the time. Now look, and I know I'm not going to keep everybody here for the, I'm not going to keep people in the discussion, because we're going to do a live stream and just shortly, okay, with one of my co-hosts if we get a chance to. So, but I wanted to do this because I promised you guys I was going to try to learn to do this, and I want to keep my word. Your word is bond, and bond is life, and I will give my life before my word shall fail. And I think this should be the mantra of every man, woman, and child on the planet, to try to live up to your word. So if something happens and you have promised somebody, or you have given somebody your word, and then you can't live up to it, they'll say it must have been something terrific that stopped them from doing X, Y, and Z, because otherwise I know they are rock solid when they say something. All right. So, all right, look, let's go further. Let's go in this article real quick. Chants and symbols could also be grounds for criminal charges. Do you? Not only may you be arrested, by waving a Palestinian flag. But if you chant pro-Palestinian chants or show pro-Palestinian symbols, it could be used as grounds for criminal charges, the government told police. Police in England and Wales should treat Palestinian flags, chants, and other symbols displayed in certain contexts as hate speech. What the hell? Home Secretary Suella Braverman said in a letter of instruction sent on Tuesday. It is not just explicit pro-Hamas symbols and chants that are cause for concern, Braverman wrote in the letter. I would encourage police to consider whether chants such as from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, should be understood as an expression of a violent desire to see Israel erased from the world, and whether its use in certain contexts may amount to a racially aggravated Section 5 public order offense. That is absolutely insane. If you don't believe these people have moved to fascism, you are crazy as hell. So it's not hate speech. It's not criminal. And it is not looked upon as derogatory for pro-Israeli speech, pro-Israeli chants, pro-Israeli flags, pro-Israeli movements. But pro-Palestinian is. You see this? We may discuss this a little bit more on the main live stream. Okay? But this is crazy, right? You know it's crazy. I don't have to tell you it's crazy. If you got common sense, you know doggone well it's crazy. So we'll read a little bit more of that. Oh, let me highlight something. I don't think it's in my StreamYard yet. All right, yes, it just made it to my StreamYard. It says, Mehdi says, everyone on this planet needs to do some deep thinking about why this is happening without any biases influencing your thoughts. Review all the data and walk through them. You will see a pattern. You're right. Right. And that's what I'm saying. Listen, sometimes we whenever we're analyzing something, we always bring some type of biasness. But what we should do is try to minimize the bias that we have by looking at the facts. Just putting the facts down and saying that I won't let my personal or my religious persuasion or belief sway me on this. Let me put the facts down and let the chips fall where they may. Because any religion worth its salt tells you to honor the truth, to try to be an upstanding person with the truth. So if somebody lays down facts, facts are truth. Facts is indisputable. So to dispute the facts and to reject the facts and to walk away from the facts because they're in opposition to what you want makes you an enemy to the truth, which means in reality that you're an enemy to the God, because God is truth. God is love. Is that not right? Oh man, I'm telling you. Look, let's go in here real quick. I'm gonna do this real quick, and then I'm gonna try to set up a stream because when my daughter came in, she needed me to take her to work. She got called in, so I'll be doing that. But I wanted to live up to my word, and I'm telling you, this is absolutely crazy. Let's go a little bit further than this. Context is crucial. So when the Palestinians were showing the Israelis shooting Palestinians and then laughing about it and making jokes about it and getting in their Toyota trucks or whatever and running them over and then backing back over and then running them back over and backing back, and they're all making jokes in Hebrew and they're all laughing. That context is acceptable. And how dare you show that? Because if you show that, it gives an alternative view than what the mainstream media is talking about. So we must remove that video because it sheds light on the true ground, reality on the ground, and it puts our so-called victims in a different light. And it shows the so-called aggressors as victims. And that is unacceptable when it comes to these Western social media platforms and the Western media and the Western government. You got to all speak from the same line. It goes further and says this. Behaviors that are legitimate in some circumstances, for example, the waving of a Palestinian flag, may not be legitimate, such as when intended to glorify acts of terrorism. How in the world can waving a flag be construed as acts of terrorism? So, in the United States, there are people all around the United States that have Nazi flags. Okay? That's not viewed as important as waving a Palestinian flag. To wave a Palestinian flag in the UK constitutes terrorism. Oh man, I tell you what, craziest, I don't know what. And it says, Braverman added, urging swift and appropriate enforcement action against those who drive through Jewish neighborhoods or single out Jewish members of the public and aggressively. How can you aggressively chant something or wave pro-Palestinian symbols at them? So, in America, football is football time, college football time. And so you have, say for instance, you have the Florida State Seminoles, and you have, let's just say, the USC, University of Southern California, all right? And they're playing each other. I'm just giving you hypothetical. The fans are chanting in, the USC fans are chanting pro-USC stuff in front of the Florida State fans. The Florida State fans are chanting pro-Florida State stuff in front of the USC fans, and both of them are showing their prospective colleges symbols and stuff. Right? Does anybody say that is aggressive? Does anybody say that is an aggressive chant? And these people are right in your face. If you've ever witnessed college football in America, they'll be right in your face. And I mean what I would call aggressive. That's not terrorism. All right? But to go while you're in your car and you say, long live Palestine, that's aggressive. And if you show a Palestinian flag or a sign that says we support Palestine, that's terrorism. I mean, this is getting so outrageous until they can't even hide the madness in this anymore. Let me see something. Let me put Mehdi back up here again. He says, we are all yes, Mehdi. We are all in 1930s Germany as its citizens were trained to hate to justify the crimes against humanity they ultimately committed. Absolutely right. That's a mic drop moment right there, Mehdi. That's a mic drop moment. You summed it up. I believe people need to see your post there. You summed it up. It is outrageous. And what's crazy about it is that the average person is so concerned about themselves that they don't take the time out to think about how one law at a time they are destroying freedom, justice, and equality. And they are instituting fascism. And they are making the Western world a dictatorship. As long as their perspective got over without any hitch, there was no need for this. But now they have challenges from China and Iran, and the world is fed up with them, and it's a problem for them to hold the narrative. So what they're doing now is shutting down free speech because they can no longer hold the narrative, and their narrative holds little weight. So when you put it on a scale of facts, they're upended every time. So what they have to do is prevent you from saying anything, because if you say anything, which is in convenience with the truth, guess what it does? It exposes their narrative as lies, and then they have no standing, and then they can't push their policies over on you, so they must shut you up completely so that they can have the floor to themselves and be able to push over on the ignorant masses whatever they want to. And Mehdi says, I have many moments. Good. Listen, this was a short stream. Thank you, Mehdi, for joining me. I'm gonna leave this up. I'm gonna try. I have to take my daughter to work. I apologize. I was going to try to do a 45-minute live stream because there's so much to talk about, but I'm going to try to come back and do a live stream. So be looking out for me. I'm going to try to, if they don't block me, and if I have the time, if I can get her to work and come back here, we're going to, she's right there on this side now. We're going to try to do us a live stream. I thank you for joining me on this channel members only stream. I love you because you love truth, but check this out. We've got to do more. We've got to enlighten more people, okay? Mama, your baby boy loves you more than life. Deuces, everybody.